Hello, and thank you so much for joining me today on the Community Ledger. Today, we are going to delve into the new interview with Anthony Mackie with regards to his role on Captain America. So let's go ahead and start the show. Hello, hello, hello again. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Community Ledger. And again, my name is Andrea Banu. If you have not already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to support the channel, you can go ahead and follow the link in the description and buy your girl a cup of coffee. And so I do want to go ahead and delve into this interview that Anthony Mackie recently did on the Pivot podcast. And to listen to the whole interview, I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the description as well so you can check it out. But I was really captivated by one specific part of it, and I'm going to play it for you so we can delve into exactly his sentiment with regards to playing that particular role.
What it is, like the idea of walking down the street by myself.
For you to play that character, obviously to play Tupac, the Hurt Locker, you're dancing, and now you're Captain America.
Right.
Like, you got real superpowers. We grew up on superheroes. Like, we don't see like a black superhero.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did it actually hit you that you are really Captain America? Like, that's crazy, bro.
Me and my boy was having this conversation yesterday, and it's been weighing on my mind and my heart because it hasn't.
It's crazy.
And I'm not sure why. Like, I don't know what it is. Like,
that is fascinating to me. He said he was just contemplating that with a friend, that it hasn't hit him yet. And he doesn't know why. And I find that fascinating. And to some people, it may seem simple, like, I don't know, he just hasn't, settled in on the role yet. But then I went and I Googled and I wanted to see what the film's advertisement looked like. So I went and I Googled the flyer, or let's say the poster for the theater. And this is what I found. And I found this photograph or depiction of Captain America to be very fascinating. What am I doing? I am so sorry, because I am over here bootlegging it, trying to figure this out, and nothing is working for me. I am so sorry. Hopefully y'all can see that, because on my end, it looks like his head is cut off. Hopefully it is not cut off on your end. Okay, there we go. Perfect. So here it is, an advertisement in the theater. And I'm like, here he is wearing red, white, and blue, shield in hand, but his head is down. And that was fascinating to me, because you think about, like, most superheroes, Superman, Captain America, their head is up, shoulders back, head held high, ready for battle. So what is it about him playing that role to where the photo that they have in theaters is him with his head down? It almost feels despondent. And so I said, you know what? The fact that he hasn't really settled on the idea of playing Captain America, could it be? Now, of course, this is just my opinion and my observation, my own personal hypothesis. Does it have anything to do with the relationship between African Americans and America? Hear me out. So now we all know that African Americans have a very complex relationship with America as a whole. We raise our children here. We've been born and raised here. Our grandparents have been raised here. We have built businesses. Some, like Anthony Mackie, have gone through Juilliard, graduated, reached the highest heights of success here in America. And yet, still feel like they're not at home. Still, as a community, feel like a lost tribe in a foreign land. And so I'm like, does that have anything to do with the fact that he hasn't been able to settle or sit with that particular role? Because it's a role being played, but there's still a disconnect, so to speak. And I found it very interesting. Also, he did speak about the disparities with regards to pay. He talked about, how Hollywood is not promoting or creating these big stars anymore so that they can pay them less. Ticket prices have gone up with regards to paying to see these movies, but the actors aren't being paid as much as they used to. And so it's just a weird conundrum for me, because you have this gentleman playing a Black Captain America, and he should feel empowered, strong, heroic, proud. And it's like, when you think about these superheroes, those are all terms that are not typically attributed to Black men in America. And so again, it just feels like he just feels incredibly despondent in this video. And I just wonder if that's why he's having a hard time figuring out why it hasn't set in, and he's not feeling the accolades or the strength or the exuberance that should come from playing Captain of America. And so I was like, you know what? That means we have to use this time. And, I always get on my soapbox. We have to use this time to really build our own. And, we are not a monolith. You have heard that term and heard people say that a million times over. We can walk and chew gum at the same time. So there is no reason in 2025 that we should be, playing these roles, but still feel like it doesn't fit. That we should be, in these arenas, but still feel like we're not gaining our rightful pay or getting the acknowledgement or the awards that we deserve. Why is it, again, that in 2025, we are still not building and creating our own? For me, it defies logic. I mean, it makes no sense for you to be a Juilliard graduate, an actor who is in Academy awarded films, but yet, don't own you don't own your own studio. You have the Tyler Perrys. Okay. You have the Tyler Perrys. Everybody talks about him, but at the same time, Tyler Perry is one person. Tyler Perry decided he didn't want a seat at the table. You don't want to give me a seat at the table. I'm going to create my own table. Yes. So no matter how you feel about him and the content he creates, at least he is building. At least all of the projects that he puts out, he greenlights. He doesn't have to go answer for anybody. He doesn't have to worry about what someone wants to pay him. Okay. So to me, he created the blueprint for others to follow in that same path, and it's like, I don't understand why we are still in this state where we're not doing that. We're not building that. We're not creating our own. Miss Issa Rae. Issa Rae is another incredible creator. I followed Issa Rae since she was on Awkward Black Girl. And in my opinion, Awkward Black Girl was a much better production than Insecure. Awkward Black Girl to me was an incredible comedy where she was giving that Black experience. She talked about her hair, the big chop. She was dating a white boy, her friends, growing up, being, at a job and having her manager want to touch her hair, all of the things that are a part of the Black experience. And she did it in a comedic way that was not offensive, not militant, but that everybody could enjoy. I loved Awkward Black Girl. And I was one of those people who were like, yes, 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 she needs her own HBO series, right? And then she got it. And truth be said, I was personally disappointed. Insecure was not that great of a project to me. I know that, you had corporate hands in it. You had all these other different writers. The storyline to me over-sexualized Black women. You had other agendas that were sprinkled in that had nothing to do with the storyline. And overall, I walked away feeling like Awkward Black Girl was a much better project. And then you also have, Ava DuVernay. Ava DuVernay was an incredible actor and creator with the storyline of When They See Us. I mean, my God, that was incredible. That story being told, the artistry, incredible. You've got other creators like who else is there? Who else is there? We've got so many incredible directors. Antoine Fuqua, he's done Training Day. He's done the Equalizer trilogy. So it's like we've seen all of these incredible creators. We know our profitability. We know we're going to create a following. Oh my gosh. Did we not forget the impact of Ryan Coogler in the Black Panther? I mean, Black Panther was a phenomenon. So it's like you had Ryan Coogler create Black Panther. You've got Issa Rae. You've got Ava DuVernay. You've got Tyler Perry. You've got Antoine Fuqua. Why? Why are we still having a conversation about not enough Black roles, not getting good pay? Like Taraji P. Henson said, Tyler Perry was the first person to pay her worth. Why has she been in the game as long as she had and in tears over, not making enough money? It defies logic. And at this point, we can't blame anyone but ourselves. We cannot blame anyone but ourselves at this time, because we know what we're capable of. Why do we only have one studio? And that's the Tyler Perry studio. And we've seen this before. We've seen this before with the exploitation or Blaxploitation films. We saw when we weren't getting roles in media, that you had a bunch of creators like Mario Van Peebles, and you had Keenan Wayans and others who came in there and started making it happen. We created our own films. And once we started creating our own films that resonated with us, we had these beautiful Black actors and they were doing their thing, Hollywood was like, wait a minute. They saw what we could bring to the screen. They saw what kind of money we could make. And then, traditional Hollywood came in, co-opted, exploited, and then, pretty much kill the genre off. And so I'm saying all this to say that, actors like Anthony Mackie should be able to feel like the role of Captain America is embedded in him, is a part of him. Us as African Americans, we have literally fought in every single war in American history since the Revolutionary War of 1775 all the way up into the Afghan War that ended in 2021. There is no reason that we should still feel like we don't have a place here. And if we do, then create our own lane. Create your own lane so that you can start building. I think that's one of the reasons why we feel so out of place, is because we don't own our own. Integration was great, but at the same time, you have to be able to stand on your own foundation and be proud of what you've created. We have some excellent creatives in our community, excellent creatives acting and doing sports and music, et cetera, et cetera. There's no reason you should have rappers who are at billionaire status, but the projects that they grew up in is still standing. It's inexcusable. There's no reason for these athletes to have the money that they have, but at the same time, don't own a grocery store chain. We can chew gum and walk at the same time. We've got to be able to do both. We've got to be able to be in, these marketplaces and in these, separate spaces, making our money, but at the same time, building our own communities and building home. And so, like I said, at the very beginning of that interview on The Pivot with Anthony Mackie, he talked about growing up in New Orleans. He talked about how segregated New Orleans was, and how, whites never went to this side and Blacks never went to that side. And now he's been able to rise above that and become a success. And for me, it was really disheartening to see this brilliant, intelligent, educated Black man be in the position and play the role of a superhero and the Captain of America. And it just not feel real or sit on him well, not fit, like a nice leather jacket that he could be comfortable in. And even in the advertisement with his head held down. And so it speaks to a deeper issue here in America. And, when Trump speaks about America being in the golden era or the golden age, in my mind, that's what I want it to become. Now, he may be thinking of something else. Elon may be thinking of something else, but I personally want to define the golden age of America as an America where every community is thriving and building and growing, and no community has to feel disadvantaged or ostracized or oppressed, and that everybody has an opportunity, and that everybody grows and can be successful and have a part of the American pie. And to me, that is where America should be. And that to me would make it more understanding as to why people are clamoring to get into America, not just because of our financial resources, but because we are, the beacon on the hill. We are the example of what the rest of the world should be with regards to democracy, diversity, as well as financial stability. Oh, excuse me, and abundance. But what say you? Am I off on this? Did you not see that or hear that in Anthony Mackie's words? Do you think that the complexities of being African American in America has something to do with why he hasn't quite settled in on that position or that role of Captain America? Am I reaching? I would love to hear your thoughts. And so if you have not already and you would love to support the channel, please do go ahead and press that subscribe button. And thank you so much for joining me. This is the Community Ledger. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe and watch the next video by clicking right here.